Let's go again. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you're all doing well. Please do smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. As you know, we've been doing late night leads, so this 11 o'clock start for me is quite an early one. So forgive the mute. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, so we've had some exciting news this morning. Fresh player links. Christantus Uche. I think Christantus Uche, sorry, should I say. I think we have been linked to him in the past. But listen, what I will say, the 49ers are starting to cook on gas. I got sent the Lorient thing to Sunderland. Here we go. The exciting winger they've signed from Sassuolo. Amazing. But do you know what? It's water off a duck's back right now because Leeds are cooking and doing their own bits as well. Look, at the end of the day, you'll see the news going along the bottom. In the YEP, Graham Smith has basically said Leeds will get Longstaff done, are working on Stack and are getting closer to their goalkeeper selection, which is exciting. Then, of course, we've heard from Athletic and reports in Spain that Christantus Uche of Getafe is also wanted. He is a 10, a second striker, centre forward, if you like. But it does say elsewhere in the article when the Mateo Joseph bid has been rejected that they still want a number 9. So for me, that tells me that they see Uche as more of a 10, as a support striker, as opposed to the 9, because the article does say that Leeds still are looking to push ahead with a 9. So this could be your 10, right? Uche, big dude as well, physical, which maybe more aligns with what Farke's number 10s have looked like in the past. If you know, a lot of people seem to tend to believe that Buendia was his 10, when in actual fact Buendia played out on the left for him. So, you know, and I like what John H is saying there. Uche is a Rutter style 10. I mean, we thought Rutter was a striker, right? But he basically is better as a support striker. So yeah, I think Uche is that. We then have a midfield of Stack. You know, we're getting stacked. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Sunderland fans in the cut as well, admittedly so. Like you're also cooking. I would love nothing more than us both to stay up, and that's no cap. So hopefully that can happen. So I think we'll get an announcement as well on Longstaff today. I think that'll happen at some point. I know Scoob. Scoob says, Maddow, we're going from no news to bare big bombers. Lifts the mood. It certainly does, especially going into tomorrow's game against Manchester United. Don't forget, we'll be doing a watch-along of that game as well. Pre-season kicks off. Please make sure you check out Match Bingo. You'll also see another separate QR code. If you are looking to purchase any club gear, you can use that QR code as well as the link in the description, and that's why you'll see the latest drops on the Leeds United store. Circle down here the kits, the training gear, etc. So yeah, please do show some love, and if you're going to use it, then please do use that. Don't think we'll be getting Pacquiao, Munez and Uche. Sam, I do. I'm confident that we can do this. I'm confident we can do this. And we need it. We need a 10. We need a winger. And we also need a striker. Now, Leeds United have saved money in terms of what they've bought at the bottom end of the pitch. So for me, I do believe that we still will have cash for this. Like, we were told 150 million. What have we spent of that up to this point? Next to nothing. Now, the article does say as well that Leeds have no... they don't want to sell Joseph. They've rejected a loan. Don't believe it. They will sell him, in my opinion, not least because the player wants to leave. He will want to play. They've basically said at the bottom of the article, Leeds rejected the bid and insisted their Spain under-21 international is not for sale. As it stands, Joseph would be competing with Pirro, Bamford, Mecha, and another striker. You know, it's not going to happen. Danilito says, so we've spent less than 30 million up to this point Factor in the fact Voba's gone out for a year. Dan James has had his contract extended, which amortizes what was left of it, which is next. So that basically pays for Goodmanson. They will be doing some mad accounting stuff behind the scenes. If we're being honest, if you were to say, what positions do you need to fill in the forward areas? We've all said 9, we've all said 10, and we've all said an additional winger. Now, the players that have been linked, Uche, support striker, 10, can play there, attacking midfield, can play in a number of positions, but predominantly plays in that area of the pitch. We then have a left winger in Igor Paixão, and then we have a striker in Rodrigo Muniz. So, yeah, happy days. I think we keep Joseph future-proof. I don't, mate. Well, he'll barely play. You can't. He's not going to develop either. They will sell him. It's just saying to Betis and getting it out there in the press, we're not doing no loan deal with an option. If you want to pay, you're going to have to fucking pay. And it alerts any other suitors as well, doesn't it? We will go through the article in detail. So in The Athletic, again, it's been reported from Spain and from England, both journals coming together. Baron Cross and a guy over in Spain. It says Leeds inquire about Christantus Uche, Christantus Uche of Getafe and reject Mateo Joseph offer from Real Betis. Uche, and do you know what? I was speaking to Jer about this, and Jer said, do you know what? Betis, we've had dealings with them in the past, and they've taken the piss. Like, if you look at the loan stuff, Lorente, Roca, they've always like this option, oh no, we're not willing to pay that. We'll have him on loan again and stuff. So once bitten, twice shy. Leeds probably saying, listen, we're not entering no loan with option. If you want him, you're paying for him, or you're sticking an obligation on. We don't want no option. Do you know what I mean? So that's good from them. 8 million for Joseph seems reasonable. I don't think it will be, mate, because Leeds rejected a bid of around 10 million English pounds in January, which was 13.4 million euros. So the fact that we've rejected that, they're not now going to accept 8. It's clear they want a pretty penny for the lad. And that's fair enough. You know, that's never going to happen, Jay. Never going to happen. I think you might be looking at close to 40, but we're not paying 50. That'd be mad. Yeah, exactly, Lee. This is the point. Agreed, Ryan. But again, had this been last week when we were doing bits, I'd have been worried. Now, no, not for me. Not for me. What happened to Birmingham City after Joseph? Yes, don't believe that. That was never a thing. I don't know where. That was never a thing. He's wanted by Strasbourg and he was wanted by Betis, wasn't he? I think Joseph... I mean, Birmingham have got money, but I don't think they're going to splash that on Joseph. So, Christantus Uche has emerged as one of the players Leeds have made inquiries about this summer. The newly promoted Premier League club asked Getafe about Uche's situation several weeks ago, though Leeds have yet to make a bid for the 22-year-old. Getafe sources, speaking anonymously to protect relationship, confirm the player has a release clause of 25 million. So, happy days, right? 25 million euros, that is, by the way. 25 million euros, which equates to 21.6 million. So they've put it in the article as 25 million euros, $29.1 million, and 21.6 million English GDP, right? So 21 million, 21 and a half it's going to cost you to get him. So he has a release clause. It also goes on to say he seems keen to join a Premier League outfit. Sources also say there is interest in Uche from Serie A, but a project like United's would appeal more to the Nigerian. Again, remember people telling me about manager pull, etc. I hope you're giving him credit for this. I don't believe in that, by the way, unless you're at the top end of the table and you're choosing between, you know, Vincent Kompany and Arnie Slot, you know, like Wirtz did. But in our case, it's not, because you've got there a player, a Nigerian who's going, I want to play in the Premier League. Yeah, but Serie A, you know, the big club, no, Premier League for me. So there is interest from Serie A. but a project like United's would appeal more to the Nigerian. Leeds have focused on progressing their chasers for Longstaff and Stack this week, but Uche is among the attacking targets they are yet to move on. Again, attacking, being predominantly a few people asked, oh, well, we're not going to get him and Stack, totally different positions. Uche will be playing behind the striker or even sometimes used as a striker. Admittedly, when you look at his career, it is only short, by the way, folks, but he has played in a number of positions. He's played in DM, CM, attacking mid, second striker, centre forward, left wing, left mid. However, 18 of them at centre forward, 16 at centre mid, 15 and then 13 at attacking mid. But he's not played a lot of football. 77 games in total. 77 games in total. I think he came through and it was sort of a meteoric rise that he's been on. So yeah, definitely fits the physical profile. Good luck defending set pieces. Yeah. Someone said in the chat earlier on that he's a bit of a pressing machine as well, which is great to see. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Andrea's going to join us as well, which is great. So we'll hear from him. He's just I don't get notifications on WhatsApp anymore. It's so frustrating. I have to actually physically open it. There you go. Andrea's going to join us anyway. So, yeah. So there is interest, but a project like Leeds United would appeal more to the Nigerian. Leeds have progressed on their chases for Longstaff and Stack this week, but Uche is among the attacking targets they could yet move on. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's being said. To be honest. Getafe have used him in a variety of roles, from striker to winger to attacking midfielder. Uche joined from Getafe from a third-tier side, Ceuta, last summer, signing a contract until 2028. He registered 6 assists and 4 goals. Registered 6 assists and 4 goals in 33 La Liga appearances. There has been contact also from Spain on another player at Ellen Road this week. Real Betis have tested United's resolve on Mateo Joseph, an offer to loan the striker that includes an option to buy him permanently. Leeds have rejected that bid and insisted at this stage their Spain under-21 international is not for sale. Betis made an offer of around about 10 million euros, which for them was 13.4 million. One second. One second. So, Leeds rejected the bid and insisted, we're going to bring Andrea in just a sec. Leeds rejected the bid and insisted their Spain under-21 international is not for sale. Betis made an offer of around about 13.4 million euros, which is 10 million, for Joseph in January, which was rejected back then. As it stands, Joseph will be competing with Joel Pirro, Bamford, Mecha, and Gelhardt, although we do expect Gelhardt to leave. However, Leeds are keen to add another striker to the squad this summer, while Gelhardt is likely to move on before the window closes, which again, folks, Gelhardt will move on, that's fine. But even if Joseph was to stay and then we bring in a striker, let's be honest, the pecking order would be Pirro, Mecha or Bamford. Third choice, Mecha or Bamford, then Joseph. And then the new striker, if it's Muniz, is the starter. So reading between the lines, some people will take what they read and go, nah, Leeds have said they're not selling him. But, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, yeah, they're just doing that. So we'll see. But Leeds do have an interest in Mecha. And like I say, we've inquired about him. They've told us the release clause. So there we go. Right, let's just quickly as well. Graham Smith done an article on Biol. He is going to be suspended for the first game. At the bottom of the article, he rounds it off, which is going along the news here. The Whites are expected to announce the signing of Sean Longstaff. They continue to work on a deal for Hoffenheim midfielder Anton Stack, and I believe to be making progress on the addition of a first-choice goalkeeper for Daniel Farke's squad. We're not sure who that is yet. I want, just for the Brazilian vibes, as you can see from the light in here, I would like now Lucas Perry, because Vanja Milinkovic-Savic is going to Napoli, it would seem. So we can have Perry, we can have Pac Zhao, and we can have Muniz. We are basically Botafogo. I don't know. Right, let's just change my graphic here slightly so it's a little bit more palatable when there's two people on, and let's bring in everyone's favourite Italian, Mr. Andrea Russo. Oh, he's had his hair cut. Who's this guy?
For the degree ceremony of next week, I had to cut my hair and make myself presentable, for my sister's degree ceremony. The reason I'm missing the charity match on Sunday, unfortunately, but I had to make myself, presentable.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Right, mate. Christantus Uche. You'll know a little bit more about him. I know you do, just from chats on our WhatsApp group. He's also wanted by clubs in Italy. It would transpire. So looks like he prefers a move to the Premier League. So if Leeds United are going to go back in there, it looks like it could be a deal we can get done. He's got a release clause of around about 21 million English pounds. What do you know about Uche? What could he bring to Leeds United? And is he worth 21 million pounds?
Well, about the price, I think it's inflated probably, but okay. I think the player, looking at how the market is going this summer with inflated prices, I think the price should be worth the spending, because he's a player, is a tall, physical guy, not the fastest, but has a very good progression when he turns around, when he progresses into spaces. I think he will be a very good signing for us because of one simple reason: versatility. He's a player that plays second striker, usually number 10, but he can also play number 9, can also play number 8, because he moves all around when they are in possession, Getafe. So should be a very good signing for that versatility, because you bring in a player really. I know I've always said I don't like when it comes down, especially last season, to, but he can play there too. Nyonto can play in the 10, try Ramazani in the 10, try Solomon in the 10. Wiluce is different. He's a player really that can play in multiple positions because he has the traits and the skills to adapt to the situation. He's playing in the 8, and he's a physical midfielder, box to box. He's playing in the 10, advanced playmaker, second striker, behind another number 9. Very good in running in behind, and also as number 9, because of his physicality. So if you sign him, you bring in a player that can cover multiple positions, and we know the demand and relentlessness of the Premier League, and it's really handy to have a player like him in your services, So I will be very, very open to this signing. I need to stop saying very, very, because it reminds me of that video of Sannino when he was manager of Watford saying, I am very, very happy for the supporters, when he tries to speak English. I don't know if you've already seen him, but it's so funny, that video. Funny.
I'll have to watch it, mate. Someone said in the conversation that it could, in the chat, sorry, that he could be likened a little bit to Rutter potentially in the way that he would play the 10. Is that an accurate take?
There's some similarities. I think he's lower than Rutter, less skillful probably in terms of dribbles and the category of streets won't forget, those kind of skills, but overall how he protects the ball and turns around, how he moves all around, there's some similarities, but I think Uche is even more versatile and all around compared to Rutter. Rutter is offensive minded mainly, while Uche can also contribute in the build-up more in terms of ball progression, passing. In that case, of course, Rutter is better because offensively, Rotor is simply a genius. Looking at how he reads the game and how he runs into spaces. But yeah, Uche, he has a particular story. He's an hard worker. I don't know if you already talked about his story, Joe, because I just arrived. Because as you can see,
Yeah,
I'm in
I
my office.
I touched on it briefly.
Yeah, very peculiar story.
Yeah.
He arrived from Nigeria. Was playing in amateur football. He was scouted from I think a fifth division. It was like Moralo, a club like and Tercera Federación. I think it's the fifth or fourth division in Spain. Then he moved last season not last season, the season before, 2023-2024, to Ceuta, and they signed him for their B team, and they were playing in the third tier of Spanish football. But when he arrived, he became a starter in the A team, the senior side. And from then he jumped straight to LaLiga last season. I remember him because last season I watched quite a few games of Athletic Bilbao, and the first game, the opener, was against Getafe, and that's the first time I saw Uche, and he scored in that game with a header. And I remember saying, "Who is this guy? Where does he come from?" And he looks so natural. It was his first match in the top tier in La Liga, coming from a third tier side, and he looked so natural. And he had a very good season. He adapted so quickly to the difference of intensity, rhythm. So yeah, if you look at him, there's also a lot of games and highlights on YouTube that people can watch. You see that he's a player that won't have many difficulties when it comes to adapting to the rhythm of the Premier League. Yeah.
Do you see a world, because people are like, maybe, oh no, surely we won't, but we've all said we need a winger. Pak Zhao could be that. We've all said we need a 10 or someone in that role. Uche could be that. We know we need a striker. Muniz. I mean, that would be some window, 3 options in the forward areas with Stack, Longstaff behind, and then you've got obviously Biol and Goodmanson. You'd have to say, I mean, first of all, do you think we can get all them deals done financially?
I think so. Honestly, I have some worries about the Muniz one, probably because of what's happening with Fulham and the search for a striker.
Like 40 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. I think it's really overpaying for money in that regard. But if it's our main target, I could see them spending that money for him, because we've been chasing him for a while. If you get Stack, and again I'm saying Stack is a number 6 defensive midfielder, so it goes in the category of Grujev and Ampadu, not the number 8. Because again, yesterday I saw so many potential starting 11s on Twitter where they had Ampadu and Stack. You cannot play with 2 number 6. You need a number 8, and that number 8 is Longstaff. So Longstaff next to either Ampadu or Stack. In that case, if Stack gets done over the line, But yeah, will be some window. I think, me, I'm always trying to be objective. Those will be very good signings, but I don't think we need to stop there. I think we should need and go and sign a backup left back, because going into the season, it will be worrying, honestly. We know that we can rely on Sam Byram every time, but going into the season, if Goodmanson is suspended or injured for a number of weeks, you have to rely on Byram on the left. If they don't want to try Schmidt in there, because Schmidt is playing for Switzerland consistently now, but he hasn't played under Farke last season.
No,
so again, we don't know how we can adapt to the Premier League, because we haven't seen enough of him in the Championship. So again, I would like, honestly, especially because of what his agent said, about we don't know about next season. We want in a World Cup year Isaac to play. We may consider to loan him out and bring in a fullback that can play on either sides. A fullback maybe with Premier League experience, maybe a backup in another top half Premier League side that is not been started last season and wants to play more.
Right? We still have them loan options as well, which, even if this is something to think about for the chat as well, even if people don't think we can afford things financially now, what you can always do is get a loan and then pay a little further on down the line. This is how football works as well. So, but yeah, we could easily. I think we're allowed 2 or 3 loan spells from the Premier League potentially. So, Does Bornu potentially cover fullback areas?
Well, I think with the pace that he had before he had some injury worries, you can adapt him like we did with Strauch or Wober in the Premier League. But I would like a natural one, because Bornau is natural centre back. So me, like I said before, Uche is so versatile; he can really play in every position, from the number 8, number 10, and number 9. Other players, they are tailored for a certain position, like Bornau is a centre back. We've seen the effects of playing Strauch or Weber at left back in the Premier League, and even remember last season when we played Weber against All City. Other plays at left back. I don't want to see something like that again. But in emergency they can. But I would like us to, even with smart deals. I think you talk about Real Betis before because of Joseph. Betis are trying to sign Gilardi, a centre back, Italian under 21 from Verona, wanted by Roma too, for 11 million. That's a smart deal. There's also the opportunity to create more squad depth, spending less sums, but you bring in players with potential that, of course, you don't put a lot of pressure on them because they won't be starters, they won't be backups, but you are starting a project with players that can be starters in the years to come, even younger ones, under 20 ones. You need more experience in the starting 11, but with the backup, the bench, you can explore that category more, even with loans from, I don't know, LaLiga, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, if they have some good youngsters, because they will cover the costs of their salaries mainly, usually. And that helps you also on the financial side if you get a player on loan as a backup. In those cases, if you don't want to spend more to get another one on the market,
I think what's clear as well, Andrea, what we're seeing is a real ramping up of recruitment. And obviously, in Graham's article, he mentioned Leeds are getting close to selecting their keeper choice. Obviously, we go to Germany, and what they're trying to do is really get him his squad, the main bulk of it, for when we go away to Germany. And that's an important thing, in it. 2 weeks in Germany, heads down, working on shape, patterns, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And it's so crucial this season to have the squad more or less made up for preseason, because we need to hit the ground running and work. And Falcon needs to work with the ideal squad that he will have to manage during the season. Because remember the effects 2 years ago when we had the Sinisterra, Adams, all those players. They worked with the squad in preseason. Then remember when we played at St Andrews and lost in the last window because of that penalty. Remember that starting 11, Gellert, Shackleton, compared to compare, that was really bad. I think the worst starting 11 of that season.
Yeah, definitely.
Compared to I think in August the game that we won on Ipswich, where we had the Sinisterra, all the other players. It was different. But on the GK, I think Perry may have other suitors. I will try, because we're going to Germany, I will try to sign Kamil Grabara from Wolfsburg. Honestly, I don't know if it's been linked. I can check in real time, but I think that really is a keeper that can suit Leeds. We didn't do the scout report of the GKs yet, but that has been a player that I really like. No links, so it's an experienced one. So I think I will like him. I remember him saving a penalty at Galatasaray and causing basically a riot because he provoked their players too in the Europa League. No, in the Champions League when he was at Copenhagen. So there's not, again, there's the option of spending more with certain GKs, but if you look at the Bundesliga, I think there's options, even Damen, those kind of goalkeepers, where you can spend less compared to Perry, because remember now, Lyon were relegated. Now they have been reinstated in Ligue 1, and they are playing in the Europa League. So
but they still need to sell a lot of players, though, in order to keep the money coming in. I think they've only just paid off what they owed in order to keep them up. I think they're still in financial issues, no?
Yeah, they are in financial issues. But if I am a player that I'm reasoning okay, last season I qualified for the Europa League. So, and I played in the Europa League. So I played in that competition. I want to keep improving by playing again in European competitions. It's the similarity with Pike
I'm
Shaw,
going to give you one name, though.
Give me the name. Give me the name.
Rafinha. He was
Yeah.
playing Champions League with Rennes and still came to the Premier League for Leeds. So
he's in a different category, man, because he saw that potential. His agent, I think it was already Deco at the time.
Deco, yeah.
Saw the potential because Rennes, it was a 1 year off. There was no chance for them, becoming a consistent club in Europe in the next season, despite their multi-millionaire owner, was the husband of the actress Salma Hayek. I don't know if you remember her, very famous American actress.
I know
He is one of the most famous, most rich owners in European football, the owner of Rennes. But yeah, I think also with Pike Shaw, of course, Marseille are playing in the UCL next season, and Pike Shaw this season, when I seen him playing in the UCL, especially against AC Milan, he absolutely tear them apart, absolutely tear them apart. So, like, going back to Rafinha, I tweeted 2 days ago, if we sign Pike Shaw, that signing will be not in terms of talent or level, but in terms of magnitude for the significance and goal of our season, staying up. That would be very, very similar to what we did when we signed Rafinha. And I'm glad you mentioned that type of signing, because that would be very similar, going from a club playing in Europe to a club that needs to stay up. So that would be a similar signing,
We've got a Graham Smith tweet. Everyone's saying some interesting Ilian Melier starting to pick up. Don't believe it's reached firm offer stage yet, though. Leeds obviously looking for a keeper and making progress on that front, we believe. So writing may very much be on the wall. Regarding Stack, the club are still working on it. So Melier could be about to leave. It's funny, man, because FPL 23 tweeted that out about a couple of hours. So yeah, maybe there is something in that. Melier, yeah, he needs to leave, doesn't he? I think he needs to go.
100%. He's overstayed his period at Leeds. I think he needed to leave, like when we got relegated, for his career, because of course he showed good traits, but from then on, his progression stopped after the first 2 seasons in the Premier League. He was dropped, remember, by Allardyce when he came in for Joel Robles, a veteran GK who after that season went to play in the second division in Saudi, I think. So I think he needed to leave and have a fresh start. Maybe Lorient back then. Or in Ligue 1, not necessarily Lorient, because I think they got relegated that season too. But yeah, he needed to leave before, I think. And now, honestly, there's not much interest because his value has dropped massively, because of the blunders of the errors that he made this season. So if I am a club playing in a top 5 league, I say it's really a risk to pick this GK. It can even be the case, Joe, of a club trying to sign him to be their backup, a top club signing to be the backup, like Capriel with when it was signed by Napoli, then sent out on loan in multiple occasions. That can even be the case, for me.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. Well, Andrea, I don't know if there's much else for us to talk about really at this moment in time. But yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, this would be a shout, Tyler. Reunion with Reggie Brie. I don't think Sunderland will be taking Melier though.
They took Loriente now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Loriente,
but yeah, look, we're making move, folks. Pak Shaw, Rodrigo Muniz, Longstaff, Stack hopefully coming in. Could we add Uche to that list? A new keep on the horizon. Adding already to a strong back line of Goodmanson, Biol, Rodon. We're going to give ourselves a real chance. So, as for news on Harrison, I saw an article yesterday that said we need to just make anything over 3 million, which would be pure profit. Then anything over 3. So I think they'll find a situation. We'll finish on this actually, Andrea. Do you think the club will find a situation or a scenario where Harrison can leave?
I think they need to. And I hope they do, because I think the way he plays, he's not a 1v1 player. He's a player that needs space ahead of him to progress and cross. The only occasion when he plays 1v1 is going back on his left foot when he plays on the right, like he did under Bielsa. I think he's a player that can have suitors in Italy, to be fair. the way he plays. So I really hope they explore the Italian market, because I think he's a player that can be useful to some clubs like Fiorentina, for example, Bologna, those kind of clubs, So I think he will have suitors in Italy if they try to explore and offer him to that market, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got a quick question actually for you as well.
Yeah.
Mateo Joseph, we've rejected the loan with an option to buy. The club says not for sale. Do you agree with that stance, or do you think they still will try find a solution for him?
I think then they will try to find a solution for him, honestly, this season, because as it stands, with another number 9 coming in, it's new number 9, Pirot, Mecha, and Bamford, and Joseph. So there's 5. And if Uche signs, you have another option there, battling there, So there will be 6. In that case, he needs to leave and play consistently, because last season, some people say he didn't have chances to shine, but remember, he started the season, lost his place to Pirot. When he was subbed in, he wasn't consistent enough to regain that spot. He wasn't played like for 3 minutes. He was played for 15 minutes, 20 minutes in certain games, and he didn't impress. So for his sake, I think it's better if he leaves on loan this season, but we need to consider too the financial aspect of it. And if Leeds needs to, recoup something for PSR reasons, they may ever consider for a good offer to sell him.
If Leeds United were to sell him and it gets Pacquiao, it gets Muniz, it's thank you very much, innit? At the end of the day.
Claro, sí, claro, clear, yeah.
Claro, I love that.
I was thinking about Betis, yeah.
My name's Giuseppe, bro. My name's Giuseppe. Claro, I love that.
No, in Spain, I think it would be Jose Wainman.
Oh, okay.
Jose, like Mourinho, yeah.
But folks, we'll leave it there. I've got a busy day ahead now. Andrea's at work. No doubt, I think we'll get an announcement for Longstaff today, because I think he'll be going on Saturday. So I'll probably be back when that happens later on this evening. But thanks everyone for joining. Big thanks to Andrea as always.
No worries, and yeah.
Cheers, man. And
cheers. No, get me that trophy on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, don't you worry, boy. Don't you worry. Right, folks. See you in a bit.